Good morning, children. Okay, in the last class, we have seen urban settlement and various problems that urban settlement faced. We have seen faces. We have seen that the most problem is the lack of infrastructure in terms of health infrastructure, in terms of educational infrastructure, in terms of economic infrastructure like your banking system, your mm, road connectivity, all are not available in the rural settlement. Okay, so these are the problem. I think, I hope you all remembering that. And today we'll start the urban settlements. Okay, so it is a big concept, and big topic, so we have to go okay, long way, so don't worry, but it will be a very interesting one. Urban settlement. Okay, so rapid urban growth is a recent phenomena. Until recent times, few settlements reached a population size of more than a few thousand inhabitants. The first urban settlement to reach a population of 1 million was the city of London by around AD 1810. By 1982, approximately 175 cities in the world had crossed the 1 million population mark. Presently, 54% of the world's population lives in urban settlement compared to only 3% in the year 1800. Okay, so here you can see that earlier the growth of urban settlement was not that fast. Okay, so why it is so? Because okay, so why it is so, I'm telling you. The first urban settlement, you can say, it was the London. Okay, who has you know uh, who has reached the 10 million, 1 million mark, means 10 lakhs mark population. Okay, so it was the London during the time 1810, during the year 1810. Now, after by 1982, you can see 175 cities are there in the world. Okay, why it is so? Why after in the early 1900th century, there has been a rapid increase in urban settlement. You is that there was a industrial revolution. Okay, na industrial revolution after this period. Okay, so industrial revolution, you know that it took place in the UK, England. Okay, after industrial revolution, many industries come into and people started using machines. Okay, so as a matter of fact, what happened? You know that earlier in the chapter we have seen industrialization and urbanization are complementary to each other. If there is industrial growth, there will be a growth in urbanization only, urban settlement also. Okay, na? So we have seen that. So why? Okay, it is not given in your book, but it is extra knowledge. Okay, so you must be curious about why it is so. Why there has been tremendous increase in urban settlement after a few years. Okay, in a few years. So this is the reason behind. Revolution means big change. Revolution means what? Big change. Okay, na? Earlier we are producing the commodity, manually, but after the industrial revolution, we have started using machines. This is the reason behind. Okay, so and machines, coming of machines mean industrialization, and the coming of industrialization means urbanization. So as of now, presently, as of now, we can say that 54% of the world population lives in the urban areas. It means that out of 100 people, 54 people are living in the urban areas. When we talking about the whole world, okay, na? It will be different for India. Okay, this is it. It means that majority, we can see majority of the population are now presently living in the urban areas. Okay, so this is the thing, and you can see one data also here. Uh, during the time of 1800 century, you can see 3% of the people are living in urban areas. Okay, and by the time 2017, you can see the various years given, you can see by yourself. By 2017, it has increased to 54%, and by 2020, it may the figure may be different. Okay, this is the reason behind. Okay, now we'll see about the classification of urban settlement. So how urban settlement are classified throughout the world, as we are studying about the world aspects. So in the another book will be studying about the Indian aspects. Okay, now we are here studying about the world aspects, so we have to like that. So this is the thing how we classify the urban settlements. So I want to tell you that there is no any universal definition for urban settlement. Okay, na? So it varies from country to country. Different countries have their basis of their basis of classifying the urban settlement. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so but there are some common bases which most of the countries of the world are taking, are the population, occupational structure, and administrative setup. So as per the population size also we can classify a place urban or a rural. And occupational structure, you know that how many people are engaged in occupational structure means different people engage in different type of activities. So how many activities are there? We have already seen in the last chapter that we have secondary, tertiary, and primary activities. And if area is mostly the people of the area is mostly engaged in primary activities, it means that it is a rural settlement. Okay, so if people of the place are mostly engaged in non agricultural activities, so that will be a urban settlement. Okay, at least your more than 70% of the people are engaging in non-agricultural activities. It may be a manufacturing sector, it may be a services sector. ठीक है ना? So those are classified as a urban settlement. ठीक है ना? Urban area. And administrative setup also, you can see some cantonment areas are also there, where there is a dwellings of various area of armies, quarters are there, like that. Okay, and administrative setup also, you can say, like your capital city here in the Itanagar, you can see that the various headquarters of the various department are here. Okay, so why? And you know that the biggest office of the state is also here, like na secretariat office is the biggest office, government office in the state. It is here in Itanagar, you know that. So it is administratively very important area, and as a matter of fact, it is counted as a urban settlement. And here also we can take the example of the Delhi. Also, it is the national capital of the country. There, the various government headquarters are there. Headquarters of government institutions are there. Okay, so why they are counted as a urban settlement. So these are the things that we can see. Now I'll first see about the population size. It is an important criteria used by most countries to define urban areas. Okay, so most of the country of the world are using population size as the basis of classifying the urban area. Okay, so we have given so many countries, like you can see in the Colombia it is 1500. ठीक है ना? So if a person reach the limit, reach the 1500 population, it is a urban area. And in case of Argentina and Portugal, it is 2000. And in case of USA and Thailand, it is 2500. In case of India, it is 5000. And in case of Japan, it is 30,000. So you can see that the different countries have different criteria for classifying the area as a urban settlement. Besides the size of population, density of population also are taken into consideration. Like in India, 400 per square kilometer is the limit, and the share of non-agriculture workers are also taken into consideration. I told you na, if non-agricultural activities is the main occupation of the place, it is the urban settlement. Okay, that is the thing. So now we'll see, countries with low density of population may choose a lower number as the cutoff figure compared to the densely populated countries. In Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, all places with a population size of 250 persons are called. So in case of India, we have seen it is 400, but there are some developed countries like Finland, Denmark, and Sweden. These all are Scandinavian countries. It means that it is a country where the climates are very extreme, very cold, extremely cold. Okay, na? As a matter of fact, it is again the developed countries. Okay? There the population is very less. As a matter of fact, the density of population will be less. And what is density of population? You know that very well. Land area, geographical land area of the country divided by the population. It is your density. Okay? So in that case, so what Denmark, Sweden, and Finland take is the 250 persons per square kilometer. Okay, and if the area reach this limit, then it will be counted as a urban settlement. So I hope you understood The minimum population for a city 300 in Iceland, whereas in Canada and Venezuela it is 1000 persons. Okay, so this is it. I hope you understood. These are the criteria being used throughout the world, okay, in order to classify the areas of urban settlement on the basis of population size. Okay, this is the thing. Now we'll see about occupational structure. You know that occupation means the basis of people to earn his or her earn their livelihood. Okay, so let us see. In some countries such as India, the major economic activities in addition to the size of the population in designating a settlement as urban are also taken as a criterion. Similarly, in Italy, a settlement is called urban if more than 50% of its economically productive population. Okay, so some countries are taking occupational structure also as the ways, also as the basis of classifying the area as urban or a rural. So how it is, so we can see in terms of Italy. Okay, so if more than 50% of the people of the place engage in, non-agricultural activities, that will be urban, and in case of India it must be 75%. Okay, it must be 75% and more. So this is in terms of occupational structure. Okay, I hope you understood. In case of any doubt in your mind or understanding the thing, please post your queries. So this much for the day. Thank you very much, all of you.